How many times have you felt crushed by failure, wondering if you'd ever recover, or if this was the moment that defined you forever? What if failure wasn't a dead end, but a doorway, an invitation to a stronger version of yourself? If only you knew how to step through it. And imagine if the greatest minds in history, emperors, philosophers, and teachers, had already walked this path and left us clear guidance on how to turn failure into fuel. Welcome to Stoic Blend, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Today, we'll uncover the powerful lesson Stoicism teaches about failure, and how you can use it to transform setbacks into stepping stones. Part 1. Why failure hurts so much. In modern America, failure often feels unbearable. You lose a job after years of effort. Your business idea collapses under debt. A relationship ends despite your best intentions. Society whispers, "You are only as good as your success." No wonder failure feels like shame, not just loss. Bills keep arriving. Friends avoid the topic. Social media amplifies the illusion that everyone else is winning. But here's the truth. The Stoics faced failures too. Wars lost. Friends betrayed. Health broken. Fortunes vanished. And yet, they saw failure, not as humiliation, but as instruction. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." His empire faced chaos, but he refused to call defeat final. This is the first step of the powerful lesson Stoicism teaches about failure. Failure hurts because we tie our worth to outcomes. But when we separate identity from results, we free ourselves to learn. Part 2. Failure as a teacher, not an enemy. In American culture, failure often feels like a verdict. Fail a class, and you're labeled lazy. Miss a promotion, and you're seen as unworthy. Yet Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." This is the second layer of the powerful lesson Stoicism teaches about failure. Treat failure as a teacher. Think of the entrepreneur whose startup collapses. Painful, yes, but hidden in the rubble are lessons about timing, planning, and resilience. Think of a parent navigating a strained relationship with a teenager. The conflict feels like failure, but it teaches patience, empathy, and humility. Failure refines us. It exposes blind spots, humbles pride, and deepens wisdom. Instead of asking, "Why me?" the Stoic asks, "What is this moment teaching me?" Part 3. Redefining success through resilience. In the U.S., productivity culture measures success by output grades, income, titles. But what happens when you pour yourself into a goal and still fall short? Many collapse under the weight of comparison. Epictetus offered a different perspective. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The third part of the powerful lesson Stoicism teaches about failure is resilience. Success is not the absence of failure. It is the capacity to rise again. Picture an athlete missing the winning shot. The Stoic response is not despair, but discipline. Train harder. Adjust. Return to the court. Picture a worker laid off after decades of loyalty. Painful, but resilience transforms the setback into a new beginning, perhaps even a new career. Failure loses its sting. When you realize it doesn't end your story, it simply turns the page. Part 4. Practical ways to live the lesson. How do we apply these insights in daily American life, where the pressures are real, rent due, children to feed, reputations to protect? Pause before judgment. When failure strikes, resist the urge to call it catastrophic. Take a breath. And remember, perception shapes reality. Write down the lesson. After a setback, journal what went wrong, what was within your control, and what you can do differently. Marcus Aurelius did this every night in meditations. Practice voluntary discomfort. Seneca advised living simply at times to prepare for adversity. Try fasting, cold showers, or digital detox. These small failures train you to face larger ones without fear. Shift identity. Instead of saying, "I am a failure," say, "I experienced failure." This language matters. It keeps your worth intact. Each of these practices makes the abstract real. You no longer just admire Stoic wisdom, you live it. Part 5. Failure as the path to growth. Looking back, many of the most meaningful stories in American life are built on failure. Abraham Lincoln lost multiple elections before becoming president. Thomas Edison failed thousands of experiments before inventing the light bulb. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television before becoming one of the most influential voices in media. The final part of the powerful lesson Stoicism teaches about failure is this: failure is not a detour, it is the path itself. Without it, there is no growth, no depth, no resilience. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Failure is not an obstacle. It is the way forward. Imagine if you began to see your failures not as dead ends but as stepping stones. How much lighter would your days feel? How much more courage would you carry into tomorrow? Today we uncovered the powerful lessons Stoicism teaches about failure. Failure hurts because we confuse outcomes with identity. Failure teaches us lessons we cannot learn otherwise. Resilience redefines success beyond external results. Practical Stoic habits turn setbacks into strength. Failure itself becomes the path to growth. If these lessons resonate, share this video with someone who feels weighed down by setbacks, and subscribe to Stoic Blend to keep exploring wisdom that endures. And let me leave you with a question. How has failure shaped you into the person you are today?